Well, with Hightower as MVP, we have skill points to dish out to some of the members of our practice squad. Some of these guys, of course, were half-decent signings. Let's give some points here to Ty Chapman. Man, gave a pity vote to John, and that's fair. I mean, he had a phenomenal game. Again, like Michael Gallup didn't really show up until the end. So, we'll see what we have here for our practice squad, guys. It is all practice squad, guys. We'll auto-update it then. 2 points for a lot of those guys. 24-3. We beat the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. We didn't look at this Eagles team that we just overcame. We didn't look at the team. I mean, again, Phillips playing like an 88. Like, ungodly for a rookie. Ungodly. I feel bad for Jalen Hurts. The fact that we were able to shut down Miles Sanders. The problem is that receiving core wasn't that great. Like, Smith is still developing. All with no... Yeah, I didn't play a single moment of the Chiefs game or the Super Bowl. Not a single moment. I mean, they had some weapons. Ooh, that O-line, though. And Dickerson went down to injury. Outside of Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson, that O-line got exposed. Brandon Graham defensively, but like Randy Gregory's just okay. Fletcher Cox really didn't have that big of an impact. Man, the O-line definitely deserves credit. Linebacker core, nothing special. Nothing special at all. Slay had a pick. Monte Maddox was involved, but we just kind of made the most of it. And then Bryce Bramble went down to injury in the fourth quarter. Unreal. Incredible. Incredible stuff. Remember, do you remember how much you paid for the Series X? I don't. I bought it from Deke Slayer. Ask him. So, we do have a decision to make. That is whether or not we do put Mac Jones up to X Factor. Oh, God. Did I buy it from Monk? Oh, that's right. I bought it from Monk and from, there was travel. We have a big decision with what to do with Rudolph and what to do with Mac Jones and how much fun we decide to have with this. I think we gotta have fun with this. It's fucking Madden franchise, and I want to have some goddamn fun. Judge me if you will. He earned it. He fucking earned it. There's no doubt about it. He earned it. I mean, then again, he really, you know, in fairness, he didn't necessarily earn it with that performance in the Super Bowl. I kind of agree with that. He didn't have a great game in the Super Bowl, but it wasn't necessarily the idea of if he does great in the Super Bowl. It was just if he wins the Super Bowl, and he did. He had touchdown passes too. I'm going for it, man. Fuck it. Let's have some fun. It's franchise. Let's have some goddamn fun. We'll give him some upgrades too. Just wish I could see the overall. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. And sexy, but weird. What's he up to? So after all of that, a +3 on everything, he's only up to a 76. It gave him high-low Deadeye.
Oh, good!
After all those, I forgot it, 23. Thank you for the follow. After all those attribute boosts, he's only up to a 76. I don't know if he necessarily deserves any higher. Highest I'd put him is probably a 78. I don't know if I'd go with an 80 off of that other performance. You know? Trash X Factor, is it? Yeah. Accurate make consecutive passes for 5+ yards in the air. Don't think so. I mean, oh, high and low pass to perfect accuracy. Yeah, I gotta wonder how much the AI happened to do that. It did show the overall by archetype. Did it? Yeah, fair enough. Guess I missed it then. Oh, let's see what we got. Who throws high-low passes? Oh, yeah, it's fair. I mean, I tried to when I play, depending on the situation. Alright, I agree for the most part it is that awareness that's taking him down. Okay, you know, the clear thing that we have to do is up that blocking, baby. Oh man, let's up the break sack here. It's not the most heavy weight attribute in the world. And yeah, unfortunately, I think it will have to be awareness that gets bumped a decent amount. I always forget about the overall on the right. What are you thinking? 78? Nothing too crazy. It's not like I'm going to make him an 85. But we boost him up from what? Like a 73, 74 normal to, you know, we make him usable. We make it interesting. It continues the story of him not just being hot trash because it won't give us a breakout moment. Like, if anybody deserved a breakout moment heading into the Super Bowl, it was him. Like, clearly. Clearly. Gave him bazooka this time. Do we want Mac Jones? 87 throw power versus 97. Yet Mac was still airing it out, you know? That's the funny thing. We have a decision to make on what to do with Mac. I mean, bazooka does make sense. Based off of the throws that he was making, bazooka does make a bit of sense. When he's in the zone, the throw distance. I mean, based off of how he played against the Chiefs. We'll leave it there for the moment. I still don't know what I want to do, though. Like, I like the idea of making Mac our guy. But also, there's a chance that Earl Rudolph is going to be a stud. He only has star development, though. We need him to improve. But he does have that ungodly 97 throw power. But Mac had an ungodly performance in the playoffs. Gambler fits some more. We could do that. So we have to make the decision between Rudolph and Mac. And if we want to reset Mac, I'll allow it. Okay. But I think for the most part, it might have to be the decision to keep him. We could re-roll it to try and get Gambler, but I don't know what the odds are of us getting him at Gambler. So we could keep it at, could just keep it at Bazooka. Get a decent return for Earl. It's true. I think Rudolph has a picture, but Mac doesn't, right? There. Well, let's just do this a couple times, see what we get. If we get Bazooka again, then we'll deal with it. This is the most I've ever edited a player. I normally just go ahead and let things go. You can select it yourself. It wasn't letting me unless I can hit A here. I don't know if they have the ability to pick it yet. If I'm being honest. I know they said they fixed that. Going to the X Factor. Oh, that's right. It's from the X Factor screen. Okay, that's where it is. So there you go. In case you ever wanted the evidence that I have no idea how to edit this shit outright, because I never edit it, then there you go. He managed to get run and gun. Alright, so Gambler is there. It can't be intercepted. Oh, there was High-Low Deadeye, the Pro Reads. The Blitz Radar as well. I'm trying to think of what fits his playstyle. Definitely not Truz. Omaha would fit a little bit. Based off of how... I want to base this off of how he played. Omaha does fit. Brick Wall, not so much. Freight Train, not so much. Right now, it's... I'm looking at Omaha, and I'm looking at Bazooka. Blitz Radar, he kind of struggled. Pro Reads, he struggled. Gambler, in terms of not being intercepted. I mean, honestly, I think Bazooka fits. I think Bazooka fits a lot, because for whatever reason, even with that lower throw power, he was still just bombing it down the field. Bombing it. Let's go with Bazooka. I think that is fitting. For these second ones, Inside Deadeye makes a lot of sense off of how he was playing. Rather than sleight of hand with pump fakes, inside Deadeye, he dominated in that way with the inside throws. And then he never really ran. Pocket Deadeye, perfect accuracy on auto and pressured throws. I mean, that would fit. Players with this half can easily enter the zone in the... Okay. So I don't want to sit here and make him, like, OP as shit. But does closer not fit what he did against the Chiefs and what he did in the Super Bowl? He's a second half quarterback. Conductor. Tight out. I think closer. Any ability we just gave him fit how he played. That's all. That it fit how he played in those games. So we have a decision to make. We said that if Mac Jones, in the middle of that Chiefs game, if he pulls this off, he gets superstar. If he wins the Super Bowl, he gets X Factor. He won the fucking Super Bowl. We've based a lot of these attributes off of how he played, the X Factors off of how he played. But we have a choice now between him and Rudolph. And I have no idea what the hell we're going to do here heading into the offseason. Because I still can't believe we won the damn Super Bowl to begin with. Staff moves, we are holding on to our guys. Let's take a look here. Pete Carroll was fired. I wouldn't mind bringing in Pete, but he's old and will retire soon. Sean McVay, also fired by the Rams. I'm keeping our coaching staff. We just won the damn Super Bowl. Sean McDermott was fired by the Bills, signed by the Jets, or signed by the Giants, and then fired by the Giants. Oh, what? Yeah, okay, he was immediately hired. So McDermott will coach his third team in as many years, and you're right that Pete Carroll retired, my bad. I was used to seeing it just say fired, but McDermott getting hired immediately makes sense. Lethal, nope, I swear, and I don't need to be this serious, but like Grandfather's, I don't edit players. I like never edit players like that. First time I've done it. First time I've bothered to edit a player. But I feel like we were handed a really cool story and narrative of a quarterback controversy. Obviously, if we don't edit anything, the decision's easy. Get rid of Mac Jones. You know, normal dev scrub, get rid of him. But this makes it more interesting. So I never, like, in terms of like, oh, do you always edit players? I don't. I don't. This is a very special occasion. Garrett Pratt, the Colts offensive coordinator, was fired. I am in the same position as the Eagles, which means I'm never going to win again. And the Ravens fired their defensive coordinator. Again, we're keeping our staff the same. They just won a damn Super Bowl. Super Bowl 57 to the good guys. We head to the offseason. I do have some old YouTube series up on my channel. It's at Tukey24. We've done series with the Patriots before. God, we had a Bills series back in the day. And I am uploading this series on my second channel. The link will be in the chat, I'm sure. The season recap. Now 7 times. Hey, Donta Hightower was named Super Bowl MVP. Chat, you got it right. I forgot about that. So indeed, the game agreed. Donta Hightower, Super Bowl MVP. Fucking right. He deserved it too. 7-time champions now. And again, I love this new screen. You know, the stats on the side as well. Defensive Rookie of the Year again was Otis Allen of the Lions. And again, like, this is just a cool thing that they did. They have every single year. So again, last year's Super Bowl, Chiefs beat the Bucks for their third title. Mahomes won MVP. And then obviously you get to the real life results. But yeah, I love that they added this, and then it keeps track of how many Super Bowls you won. But Donta Hightower getting it done, joining the likes of Julian Edelman, Tom Brady, and others, Deion Branch. Beautifully done. The weekly awards. Harris was AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Hightower was the Defensive Player of the Week. So, good stuff. And then we get into upgrades. I don't know what we're going to have here. Will Mac be one of them? He won't be. Sidney Baldwin improves. Whew. Again, Sidney Baldwin, what a player he could be. Again, 22 years old. He was a rookie. He's 6'4", 93 jumping with 90 speed. I mean, there is a chance he could turn into a top wideout if we can just get that dev pattern up. Koromoa was a monster in the playoffs. An absolute monster. And trust me, like, the temptation is there to be like, hey, this guy off of how he played. Stubbs, thank you for the follow. The temptation is there in terms of edits to be like, I want to make this guy a little bit better because he was a stud. Like, clearly, Donta Hightower should not be an 83. He played like a 95. But, you know, I'll hold off on that temptation. Sydney, don't call me Doug Baldwin. You know it. Like, in theory, because we have some staff points here to put on, too. Like, let's take a look here. Number one, I wanted to look at Mac Jones's stats. I mean, look at that. He threw 9 touchdown passes in 2 games after not playing. It's unreal. But, like, Damian Harris, he's actually a 78. Damian Harris, maybe not a crazy upgrade. He had a great Super Bowl, though. 78's fair for him. Like, there are some players we could certainly go through. Like, Tim Tebow should be a 97. He's down to a 65. He's dropped 11 overall points in 2 seasons. Hopefully he doesn't retire. Michael Gallup has an overall that he's worthy of. He's an 85, but he's playing like an 88. The thrill of the hunt's gone. TKJ, I disagree. I think now we look for more rings. I mean, there are some guys certainly that overplayed beyond their overall. Carl Nassib. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't even think I'm keeping Carl Nassib. Carl Nassib played like a monster in that series, in the playoffs. I don't even think I'm keeping Carl Nassib. I'm giving Carl Nassib a chance to get signed by somebody else. That's what I'm doing. I'm not even going to keep him. I'm not going to benefit from this. But Carl Nassib had an incredible playoffs. And he deserves just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And indeed, we will give him a little bit more. Honestly, I was only able to boost him up to a 73 with all that. So again, there's no way I'm keeping Carl Nassib, more than likely, because he wasn't a part of the plan. Why not keep him? I mean, we could. I'm not against it. But then we get into the idea of boosting somebody up and still keeping him, you know? I don't know if that's the direction I necessarily want to go aside from Mac. But I mean, Carl Nassib had an incredible playoffs. If it makes sense to keep him financially, I will. But I want him to get signed by the AI. He deserves to get signed by the AI. He was fantastic. Koromoa, you know what? Fuck it, we're doing this. I'm getting into editing players. I'm cheating. I'm a horrible, horrible cheater. But it makes sense. I'm not going to boost him up to like a 95. But hey, let's give Koromoa. This guy had how many sacks in the playoffs? Like, just an absolute beast. Let's be honest, IRL too, he's doing really well in the preseason. And I think by default should have a higher starting rating in Madden anyway. Because he's been fantastic. Fuck it, have fun with it. Pretty much. Like, at the end of the day, it is franchise, you know? There we go. Boost him up like a 77, 78. Nothing too crazy. Donta Hightower. I don't remember if Hightower's out of contract or what. But we're turning back the clock with Donta Hightower. And the problem is he's old, so he's going to regress anyway. If anybody deserves an X Factor, by the way, it's Donta Hightower. Maybe the most disrespected linebacker in Madden. That's right. I said it. I said it. Come at me. You're wrong. Oh, the realism, but how can you have realism when the game isn't realistic? There you go. 90 hit power. Yeah, you don't say. Again, boost him up a little bit. He played like an absolute star. And should have the overall of 1. Even though he is slowing down. I don't care. I don't even care if I benefit from this. He deserves it. He deserves it based off of how he played. Don't care. He's 33. We won't benefit from too long. We just won the Super Bowl after trying to tank, okay? Let's see. Shutdown based on interceptions. I want something that results in him knocking the shit out of people. That's what I want. That's what I want. Any successful hit stick. Well, there you go, Avalanche. Actually makes sense. You won the Super Bowl probably sooner than you should have, so fucking... Exactly. Let's have fun with it now. Apply pressure to quarterback from a greater distance. It does make sense. Pick artist, no. Tip drill, no. Mid-zone KO. Secure tackler. Unfakeable. Out of my way. No outsiders. Strip specialist. I mean, he was forcing fumbles left and right. Donta Hightower. Congrats on your appropriate rating. J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson. This went from a challenge to fuck it arcade mode due to a shocking Super Bowl win. Exactly. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have some goddamn fun here. That's what it's all about. That is what franchise is about. Let's have some goddamn fun. J.C. Jackson was outrageously good this season. Like, outrageously good. Can you please go up to a 90? Thank you. JC. Shutdown makes a lot of sense. I mean, because again, he led the league in interceptions, or was at least very, very close. Also knocked the ball out a lot. Unfakeable. Tip drill. Mid-zone KO, mid-zone KO, Acrobat. Honestly, Acrobat makes a lot of sense. Is everybody getting the X Factor? No. I'm not going to give an X Factor to my entire team. But this team won a goddamn Super Bowl when they shouldn't have. So let's have the players actually replicate the fact that they just did this. Just the key players. Just the key players. Like, Jones isn't getting it, even though he was really good, but, like, J.C. Jackson was unreal. Like, that's it. Just a couple of boosts. We boost up Mac Jones. We boost up J.C. Jackson. We boost up Donta Hightower. And how is there any argument against those are the guys that are crucial to us winning a Super Bowl? Only other guy I'd consider boosting up is Jonnu Smith, but he's an 83 and really only showed up for the Super Bowl. So again, that ruins the enjoyment for some people. It is what it is. I don't really care. Staff-wise, nothing we can do. So let's move on to this offseason. We have a Super Bowl in the books. Retirements. Everybody, prayers up. In chat, no Tim Tebow retirement. 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 No Tim Tebow retirement, please. Don't break my heart. All right, we do have retirements here. Let's take a look. Who's gone? Broncos lose Bobby Massey. Tom Brady retires. Oh, God. No. It's the worst day ever. Oh, Tom. Bruce Miller, Rodney Hudson. Devin McCourty. God, the same year we win a Super Bowl without him, Tom Brady and Devin McCourty both retire. I wish it was like NBA where you could say LOL, nope. Crash. Yes, Brady's gone. Ben Jones retires. Matt Ryan. Matty Ice. This would break my heart. Brady, Ryan, McCourty, all gone. Deion Lacey. After just 6 years, Deion Lacey retired. Britton Colquitt. Aaron Rodgers is done. Brady, Ryan, and Rodgers all gone. So, this fits the narrative that we've crafted. We have 2 starting quarterbacks. We can only keep one, and the market is now out there for a lot of teams that are looking for a good quarterback. Antonio Brown also retires after playing with Carolina. Tim Tebow stays, baby. Goodwin, McCoy, and Kyle Long all signed as depth options. They get the fuck out after winning a Super Bowl. That's a Hall of Fame class, right? Campbell retires as well after 15 years. Okung, Belor, and Pete Carroll. Mason Crosby retires. A lot of big retirements there for sure. Just scroll down to make sure there aren't like free agents that also retired. Yeah, see, I knew that there would be. Let's see who retired out of the free agents. Prince Amukamara, Matt Moore, Wisniewski, Ziggy Ansah, Joe Flacco retires. Jimmy Graham, Gostkowski. AJ Green retires as a free agent. Colt McCoy. Nate Solder. Deshaun Jackson. So many former Pats. Mark Ingram, Marcus Cannon, another former Patriot. Emmanuel Sanders, Jimmy Smith, Golden Tate. A lot of really good players call it quits at the end of Season 2. In terms of the staff, indeed, we'll see if we have enough. We should. Now with 38 staff points for the upgrade here on player personnel. We'll guarantee ourselves a pick package. And there we go. Non-X Factor user players will be valued 1 dev trait higher than they actually are. So if we elect to get rid of some people, that's going to help a lot. A lot. Good stuff. Whew. All right. $35.7 million in cap space. We do have all the draft picks as well. All of the draft picks. We might not actually have that much cap space. We do. Wow, so if we got rid of all of those first round picks, we'd have over $100 million in cap. So we'll go back to free agency in a minute. Let's scout college players first, and then we'll figure out what we're doing in free agency. Hopefully I'll still switch to F1 tonight. Day, thank you for the 2. Appreciate that. Very much so. And does that mean I'll trade him to Atlanta? Maybe. They'll certainly be on the market, or at least they should be.
Oh, good for you!
We have a choice to make. Tony Starks, that's hilarious. We have choices to make here with this team. Because honestly, had we not won the Super Bowl, I would have said certain players are gone. Ah, shit, didn't mean to scout that guy twice. I probably would have said certain players are gone, and we'd move on. Draft up to get another quarterback. There was not a find a trade feature. Okay, so if we look at this team, right? Let's look at our team one more time. Quarterback-wise, we're good. We just got to make a choice. Running back, I still like Damian Harris. We can look to see who's there. Tim Tebow's still our fullback. Super Bowl champion Tim Tebow. And Metal, thank you very much for that follow as well. Again, if I missed any of those, thank you guys. I do appreciate it. And again, a big shout out to those who have stuck around from some of the early hosts that we had at the start of the night as well. Whether or not that be from one Walty Snowman or, of course, my good buddy Mills. I do appreciate you all. Wide receiver. We could still look. Yeah, for whatever reason, Max X Factor disappeared, apparently. Or it's glitched. It put him back to star. What? The game's like, no. It has him on star, but it doesn't have him on anything else. So I guess he just naturally went up to star? Did the game not give a shit? Whatever, we're still having fun here. That's interesting. It took it away and just like, it's like, hey, you can have star. Screw you, Madden. I'm allowed to have fun. I'm allowed to have fun. Give him back Bazooka. Inside Deadeye. And last one was not Spin Cycle, Bulldozer, Pocket Deadeye. I mean, it was Pocket Deadeye, wasn't it? I believe it was Pocket Deadeye that we had. Mac earned this, damn it. He threw 7 touchdowns. Tight end wise, we're good. I was tempted to trade Jonnu Smith. It was closer, that's right. I was tempted to trade Jonnu Smith. Simply because... Yeah, there we go. It was closer, thank you. You know, he's going to make a ton of money, but he had a shout at Super Bowl MVP. So I don't know what we're going to do there. What edition did I get? I think I have the MVP edition.
Oh, good for you!
Offensive line, we're good. We could look for a bigger boost there. And C-Mall. Or C-Mal. I guess it's C-Mall. Thank you for the follow. O-line's a question mark. Defensive line. I mean, I did boost up Carl Nassib. The problem is I already committed to not signing Carl Nassib because he was just a depth option. But then he was really good. So actually, that works out too in terms of the narrative. So Carl Nassib was a depth signing. Earlier in the season, I said, hey, we're probably letting you go. And now I have regret because he had a great performance and has an overall boost. So I don't know if I'll be able to bring Nassib back. We should probably look at defensive end help. Defensive tackle, I mean, Barmore is developing. That's also a question mark. The good thing is, in this draft, we're going to be able to just get the best players available. Koromoa's looking better. Hightower, still a beast. Again, he declined, I think, from where I put him already. Like, we're good at linebacker. Secondary, we're already incredibly solid. Like, we have a decision to make if we're going to get rid of Ronnie Harrison to get Jordan Spillman in there. Or Kyle. So we have some big decisions to make here. Let's take a look at who's out there in free agency. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, all retired. Like, the entire face, the shape of the league has changed. And Jimmy G and Colin Kaepernick are free agents. Interesting. Obviously, we're not going to sign... fuck you. Obviously, we're not going to sign a major free agent right now. It's not worth the money. But, like, depending on who stays... I wouldn't be surprised if we sign like a Josh Rosen, Jacoby Brissett, stuff like that. I'd love to bring back Jimmy G. It's not worth spending big money right now. We'll give these guys a chance to go elsewhere where they might actually play. But I mean, Garoppolo's looking for a deal that would give him a $9.5 million cap hit. There's no way I'm paying that. Kareem Hunt is available at running back. Quick little Google search. Kareem, I have to ask, the video controversy. Because, the whole kicking a woman thing, the whole kicking a woman thing. Plus, he's 28. He's not looking for that expensive of a deal. Ah, man. What happened with that situation? Like, did anything happen to him, or was he just allowed to keep playing? Yeah, we're trying to surround Mac Jones by decent people. Hunt was released by the Chiefs after a videotape of him physically assaulting a woman was there. He was never charged with any crime. The incident was investigated as a misdemeanor. She failed to take him to court. He was never suspended. Well, actually, due to the allegations, he was on the exempt list after signing a contract. So, yeah, there was a suspension. We'll come back. We'll think about it. No real point. I mean, we could sign Tony Pollard, who's a slight upgrade on Harris. Same age, couple points better. I mean, in terms of running backs, it's either we go all out with Hunt. I wouldn't sign Drake because he's 29 and he's going to want term. Yeah, he wants 4 years. There's no way. Pollard is an instant improvement on Harris at the same age. Madison as well is also an improvement. You're a saint. Well, I've never kicked a woman, so I'm doing something. I'm doing something right. Benny Snell's out there. There are some running backs to get. I don't know for sure if we want to go that direction. It's Hunt or Pollard, most likely. Yeah, I'd say it's Hunt or Pollard. And even then, Pollard's a toss-up. Fullback-wise, while there are some great options out there, Tim Tebow's our guy. We'll stand by Tim Tebow until he retires. Wide receiver, Mecole Hardman is out there. Wide receiver was a toss-up position for us. Oop. Just make sure, yeah, we're good. I'm so paranoid about accidentally clipping the mic and not noticing. But Hardman's out there. Aside from that, no one else is worth it to us. Hunter Renfrow. No one else is that much better than who we have already. Bring back Nelson Aguilar. So if we go for a wide receiver, it should either be someone drafted or we go for Hardman. Hardman, though, is an 83 at 25. That's tough to beat. He's looking for an $8 million cap hit. It's not that bad. Tight end-wise, nobody. So definitely, this is the season 2 offseason, correct. Nobody at tight end that we're going to look to pick up. Zach Ertz is down to a 74. On the O-line, Eric Fisher, how the mighty have fallen. Roger Saffold. Yeah. J.C. Treader. Probably not worth it as well. David DeCastro. He's 33. He's going to drop. Yeah, nobody on the O-line that we want to get. We'll draft replacements. Defensive line. Okay, we have our target. We have our target. Brian Burns. We need a defensive end. We're going after Brian Burns no matter what it costs because we can afford it. So I like the idea of bringing back Carl Nassib, but it would have to be as a depth option. I think we have to go for Burns and we have to go for Nassib, who's on the right. Very Greek. I mean, he's the backup option if we don't get Burns. Ioannidis. I mean, MD on our own line has many benefits. Sheldon Richardson. I mean, granted, that's a defensive tackle. Danny Shelton. I mean, defensive tackle, we're pretty good with Barmore and Steele. There's really no younger guy to sign, and if we're going to sign a veteran, I'd prefer to do it at the beginning of the preseason because they're cheaper. Otherwise, it's Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport is also a really good option. And then linebackers, Zadarius Smith is out there. But we do have Koromoa, who is great. Smith is 30 as well. Middle linebacker, we still have Hightower and Dalton, Bobby Wagner. Levante David would be just the same thing. And then on the right, Quan Alexander and Kyle Van Noy. So we're good at linebacker. Murphy Bunting at corner. We really don't need the help at corner at all. Because, again, we have the likes of Greedy Williams and Newsome behind Jones and Jackson. What would happen with Winovich? I'd just move Winovich over to the right. So if we get Burns, Winovich moves over. In terms of what happens then to Aiken, I don't know, and that could be a question. But it would be a good amount of depth. So Murphy Bunting is a really good young corner. Rock Yassin. Murphy Bunting would be great, but we don't really need him. If we were to sign him, we'd probably move on from Newsome. I mean, he's 26. We have a question there. That could be worth it. Get better now. Safety, again, like Thornhill would be great, but I'm already considering moving Harrison. I think the Saints are too good of a team to do a rebuild with. I mean, they do have some great options. But, I mean, you need a quarterback, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I think that the Saints are kind of middle ground. They're probably closer to the top, but they're not like a, oh, yeah, if you don't win the Super Bowl in season 1, it's a failure type of thing, you know? So, again, Thornhill's great. We really don't need him. I mean, as it is, he's worse than Harrison. And then Jordan Poyer's there. Kicker, Josh Lambo. Hunter, Jack Fox. Okay, so the only guy I'd probably consider is Murphy. Murphy Bunting, that is. I think we'll keep Newsome. Because otherwise it'd be move on from Newsome. Newsome's probably cheaper. We can save money there. That way we kind of have a built-in replacement. So for Murphy Bunting, I'm going to rule him out. Running back. I'm going to rule out Pollard. He's better than Harris. What's that contract? He's at... Ooh, actually, no. So Pollard is better than Harris at the same age and cheaper. Harris, though, was a tank in the playoffs, at least in the Super Bowl. I don't know if he deserves the teardown. I want to see a Houston rebuild. I think I might still do that when the new scouting updates is out. Hunt, we'd only be able to sign for 2 years, and then we'd have to move on. We could draft a running back. Ender, thank you for renewing the sub. Chat, what are we thinking? Do we go for Hunter Pollard, or do we keep Harris and look to get someone else through the draft? I mean, Pollard, like I said, is same age, but better than Harris, and would be cheaper. And we could get him probably for dirt cheap. Get one in the draft. I like Pollard for reasons. You would, you filthy Colts fan. Focus on Burns. I know. Kind of back is Harris. He's kind of like a perfect mix between elusive and power. Alright. Clearly, people want me to handle my business first. Let's see how expensive Brian Burns is going to be. I want him on a 5-year deal. Actually, shit. I'll take you on a 6 or a 7-year deal. Although that does up the cap hit. So maybe we just give him what he wants. And we'll have to come to a short-term deal later. 3-year deal is not necessarily ideal. 4-year deal knocks down the cap hit. 5-year deal appears to be the sweet spot. Let's see what we're at points-wise. 92. Whoo! This is going to be expensive. This is going to be expensive. But this would give us a dominant edge rusher for years to come. That's only up to a 90. This is going to be expensive as shit. All right. 96 points. Gets us into the top 3. We're going to give him a 9. We're going to give him a $10 million signing bonus. This is going to be about a $100 million offer. 99 points. Still doesn't put us in the first. Man, Cincy is all in. $11 million salary, $10 million signing bonus, $105 million offer. Still can't get it there. We might have to drop the years. I want that extra year, but we might have to drop it. 5 years, though, is the sweet spot to get that cap hit down. 107. Moves us over Tampa. So we'll judge off of the price here. 110 million puts us in first. Brian Burns, $16.6 million cap hit until he's 30. But he is a 92 overall. Second best left end in the league. It's Madden 22 worth getting. Cornet, you could probably wait a little bit. I still enjoy it for what it is. There's a big-time patch coming in the beginning of middle of September that's going to change up some more stuff, including scouting. So you could afford to wait. My honest opinion, try the EA Play 10-hour trial if you're on Xbox, or I think PlayStation. I don't think PlayStation has EA Play. I can't remember. You might not be bad off waiting until like Black Friday. You know, get the game for 30, 40 bucks. Might not be a bad time. Chad, are we down for that? Nearly a $17 million cap hit for Brian Burns. I think we have to be down for that. Carl Nassib. No one's in for Carl. I'm going to lowball him a little bit. Corny, wait until Black Friday. Let's try to lowball Carl a little bit to bring him back. If he'll sign a cheap deal, I'm willing to have him back. Because he was a really good player for us. And in that way, we'll hold off on Ioannidis, or however the hell you say it. I mean, he is an improvement on Barmore, but he's 29.
Oh,
so yeah, Corny, my best
you.
thing. Nighthawk. I will call you Nighthawk. Thank you for the follow. Corny, there's upgrades coming in a month. You could probably, if you're on the bubble, try the EA Play trial. Otherwise, wait until, I'd say wait until Black Friday. Get it cheap. How many sacks does he have in the last 2 years? Let me check. I cannot check right now.
Oh, good for you!
Innkeeper Rebel. The names tonight. Thank you for the follow. Ioannidis. Okay, that's what I thought. So, there is the topic, though, of maybe Davenport for Aiken. Is Aiken going to go up 7 overall? Well, then again, no, we don't need Davenport if we get Burns, because then, yeah, Aiken's on the bubble anyway. So, Burns and Nassib is depth of the targets. We have the running back conversation and the wide receiver conversation. We have Baldwin as our second best option. Hardman and Gallup could be a hell of a combination. And then running back, is it an improvement from 20? I'd say it's an improvement from 20. It's not drastic. You know, this still isn't as good as like some of the games of many, many years ago, but I enjoy it for what it is. I'm going to lowball Kareem Hunt. If Hunt will sign a lowball 2-year deal, I will sign him. That is the only way. That is the only way. If Hunt accepts a lowball offer, we'll take him. That's the only way. Otherwise, no. I will lowball him for somebody of his value. We'll put it in green so it has a chance of going through. But yeah, if he doesn't want to accept a lowball deal, then we're out. Pollard, I'm not sure. There we go. It's a 72-point offer to Hunt. If he accepts it, we got no choice but to go for it. But the question is it worth it? Let me see how much Hardman actually wants really quickly. I think picking up Hardman would be sweet. But then again, we have some young wideouts already, and this was a pretty wideout heavy draft. Was it not? Let me check to see if it's worth it. Yellows and oranges go through all the time. Alright, I'll lowball him even further then. Yeah, see, this is a real wide receiver heavy class. Allen, Galindo, Grimson, Harper, Farr, Raphael Owens. I think we hold off on picking up Hardman. I think we can save some money there and go younger, with Gallup being our primary guy. So we'll lowball Hardman as well. If he accepts a lowball offer, we'll go for it. But he won't actually because he has competition. So yeah, we can't afford to spend the money on Hardman. Running back wise, again, we will completely lowball Kareem Hunt on a 2-year deal up until he's 30. If he accepts it, cool. If not, fuck him. Are we past the draft? We are not. Free agency is before the draft for football. So our offers. Brian Burns, big money deal. Carl Nassib to come back, and a lowball offer of Kareem Hunt. Let's see if it goes through. We will skip ahead to week number 2. Here we go. Free agency. What do we got? Brian Burns rejects. Nassib and Kareem Hunt sign. So Kareem Hunt accepts the lowball offer. Nassib comes back, but Brian Burns rejects, and that is a swift kick to the balls. Damn. Burns went to Tampa instead. We offered him a better deal than Tampa. We offered him 5 years. He took 3 years for the Bucs. But we do sign Kareem Hunt on a very team-friendly deal for a 90 overall. Controversial player, I know. And then Carl Nassib gets rewarded for a pretty damn good performance in the playoffs. So, unfortunately, we did not get Burns. Too many years. Probably. We offered him the money. Is what it is.
Oh, good.
There's no guarantees. Corny, thank you for the follow, too. There's no guarantees he would have signed on a 3-year deal. I wanted him for 5. Get him until he's 30. That way, too, if he gets better. Because think, he's a 92 now. By the time he's 28, he's 25 now. He's a 92. By the time he's 28, he'll be like a 95. And to sign him for those last 2 years, expensive as fuck. You lock him down to a 5-year deal now, we're golden. Absolutely golden. All the good players that we wanted are gone. So we'll definitely be looking at a defensive end in the draft. Unfortunately. As Burns left, Ioannidis or whatever the hell, Ioannidis went to Carolina, and Davenport went to the Vikings. So, it is what it is. Nelson, calm down. It's a fucking video game. Nelson, I hate to tell you, but if you support the NFL, you probably don't care about women. To some extent. Let's be honest. With all forms, Nelson. Nelson, let's play that game. You signed Kareem. You don't care about women. Tell me how many companies, especially entertainment companies, you can support without feeling guilty about it. You tell me you can watch the NHL knowing that the Chicago Blackhawks are probably going to get away with their scandal. You still watch the NFL despite all the shit that they've put up with and done, whether the company themselves, the NFL, or the players. How about the NBA and some of the the NBA does a better job. What about the WWE? What about Major League Baseball? There's not too many things that you can support, especially in sports, without having to turn a blind eye to a lot of shitty stuff. Corny, the best way I can sum up the Chicago Blackhawks is that they had an assistant coach who was sexually assaulting players, and they just let him go. They didn't report it. They didn't tell anybody that, hey, this happened with this guy. And then that guy went on to, I believe, coach at a college and also assaulted somebody there. So yeah, the Chicago Blackhawks helped shelter an abuser, a sexual abuser. So yeah, again, there's pretty much nothing you can do. Let's be honest. How many of you wear sneakers and you know exactly how they were made, and they weren't made under shitty conditions? In life, there's things you have to put up with. So in a video game, I signed Kareem Hunt. It is what it is. I love having that argument whenever someone brings up, like, hey, that guy did a shitty thing. I mean, again, it is what it is, you know? Welcome to life. Crash Andrews, I love you. Have a great night, buddy. I love you. Yeah, God forbid you ever wore a pair of Nikes, right? Let's be honest. I mean, there's a chance this hockey jersey wasn't made under the greatest of conditions, you know? Okay, back on track. We're not going to go for Bobby Wagner because it'll probably decline. Everybody else I wanted is off the list except for Tony Pollard, but we did get Kareem Hunt. So I think we are good. Can I check Pitts' rating? I can. Give me a minute, though. I don't claim to have good morals. No kidding. People make mistakes. It's all about secondary chances. It depends. Depends. You know. Depends on the circumstances. You still eat meat? I do. I do. That said, I'm a big enough bitch that if I had to kill the chicken myself, I probably wouldn't. You know, just sit there and eat potatoes for the rest of my life. So I think we're good. There's no other wide receivers that I want. Top hat. Top hat. I tried to sum up the Blackhawks situation. Crash, go ahead. I tried to sum up the Blackhawks situation in very few words because, my God, you know? Yeah, we don't need Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller's not bad, but he won't get much better. I think we're good. I think we're good in terms of free agency. Hardman's gone. Pretty much everybody that we wanted is out. We have no active negotiations. I just really hate that we missed out on Brian Burns. Am I simming through seasons or playing games? Combination, Corny. What's Kyle Trask's overall? He's like at 67 or something like that. Okay, so let's see. Everyone needs Scotty Miller. I mean, it's a great name. So in terms of scouting, again, we know we have great defensive ends. Certainly not Brian Burns caliber, but we'll be able to hopefully bring in somebody to help out. Let's continue to see. Man, Jalen Cook at safety. Jesus. We still have a lot of moves to make here as well this offseason. So, am I a Pats fan? I am indeed a Pats fan. Sign Kaepernick. No. He's a 72. Alright, staff is good. So again, we get Carl Nassib back, which is nice. He'll be a good depth player for us for the year. And Kareem Hunt is back as well. So we'll move on to week 3. Really wish we had gotten Brian Burns, but you can't get everything. So again, free agents, we're out. We'll take a look at the recap once we're there. And back over to the scouting. So again, all the positions of need we already scouted out. Now it's just a matter of really just scouting the best players left on the board and seeing if we can identify a potential steal or two, which apparently we're doing. I'll even scout quarterbacks. I don't care. Let me save up those points. That's fine. Bananas are the shittiest fruit off of their backstory. Fair. It's a September update for the scouting rework. Yes, it is. All right, so $26 million in salary still, and obviously that number will be higher. Let's take a look at the free agent recap. Let's do it. Thank you for the fall. I don't know how to say that, I'll be honest. So again, Burns goes to Tampa, Bobby Wagner to Philly, Darius Smith to the Minnesota Vikings, Ioannidis we already knew, Levante David to Seattle, Murphy Bunting went to Green Bay, Hardman ended up going to the Raiders, Davenport, Treader, Castro to the Raiders, Kenyon Drake to Houston, Pollard ended up going to Houston as well. So not bad. Unfortunately, we missed out on the big fish free agent. That brings us to the draft. The 2023 draft. And I am ready to go.